Hey, my name is Brian. Thanks for watching Kies. In today's video, I'm going to show you step-by-step how to remove the front bumper on a 992 Turbo S. Now, the reason that we're doing this today is we have to install some Rennline radiator protectors that are going to go in here, and on the other side, and you do need to remove the bumper for it, but don't worry, it's a very easy process. And then we're going to wrap up by installing some TLG mud flaps. So let's start with the bumper, and then if you want to hang around, we're going to show you how to install the Rennline product, and then finish with the mud flaps. Now, to start today's bumper removal, the first thing you want to do is make sure that the lower front lip is fully retracted because it does fill up with air and we do need to disconnect those air lines. The second thing you want to do is go over, pop the hood, and then disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. Once you have the front open, you need to remove this piece of plastic. Just lift up over there, and it's going to slide out just like that. If you take a look over here, you have one main clip on this side and then one just on the other, and then it'll pull straight out. Then with a 10 mil, you can loosen the negative terminal, then lift it up, just put it to the side. Now at this point, you want to make sure that the front does not get shut. What I like to do is just take a microfiber and knot it here, so if anybody accidentally shuts it, they don't lock me out of the front. Next, we need to remove this piece of plastic trim right here. What I like to do is reach in here, and then you can start to release some of the clips and get your hand under there, and then that'll slide out just like that. Again, you just have these main clips here, and then one on this side and one on this side. Next, what you want to do is remove these hidden clips over here. So let me get this out and I'll show you how to do so. Okay. All right, so this is what the tab looks like. So basically it's going to slide on over here, and then to remove it, what I like to do is take this, press it inwards, and then it normally slides right out. And then to reinstall it, you just take it, you put it on straight, and you just push it all the way on. Then do the same thing on the other side. So at this time, we need to get the front of the car off the ground, and you need to remove the wheels so that we can get access to the wheel wells. As you can see, we have the car on a lift. We're actually in the middle of filming another video where we did pure turbos, a CSF cooler, and a whole bunch of other mods. It's really cool. You should check it out. We'll have a link for you down below. But that being said, we do have the car already positioned on a lift. So let's go over to the wheel wells and I'll show you what you need to do. All right, for the next part of the process, we recommend removing your wheels and getting the front of the vehicle off the ground. We're actually in the middle of filming another video where we do pure turbos, CSF intercooler, and so much more. So we already have the car positioned on the lift. So whether you have a lift or a jack and jack stands, raise the front of the vehicle enough so that you can safely get under while the vehicle is well supported and remove your wheels. From there, you're going to need a T30, and there are a ton of little screws you're going to need to remove. First thing we're going to remove is this piece of black plastic trim. It's held on by these T30s. There's about 6 of them. So at this time, remove those. So now what you're gonna do, start on the driver's side, pull it down. There's a tab that looks like this, and then there's a piece of plastic that you need to twist as well. Then you're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So you pull it down, twist the little piece of plastic, and then from there, it's gonna slide out towards you. Now what you can do, we're gonna do this on the passenger side, remove all of these T30s that hold it in place. All right, then we're going to do that exact same thing on the other side. Make sure that you don't take this one out. I mean, if you do, it's not a huge deal, but this holds the front lip little side wing thing on. So remove all of them but that one. Next, what you need to do is disconnect the 2 air lines. Again, make sure that this is all the way in before you do this. Basically what you do is you just press this little piece of plastic in while pulling out. And then to reinstall it, all you do is just push it back on. And then do this one, and then they are color coordinated. Now what we need to do is remove the 6 T25s. There's one located here, 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 over here, and then these 2. One. And then there's a hidden one over here. Then you can gently pry out the bumper and remove the fender liner. Okay, and for this one, you take this little back bar and you just push it back, and then this will pop off like that. So again, you just take this, it's connected, there's no lock, and you just push back on it, and that'll release the clip. Then on this one here, there's a little tab right there. Press in that tab, that's gonna pull off. Again, the tab is right there. Do the same on the white one. Okay, just like that. And then you need to disconnect it from over here. I'm going to get a plastic trim tool and pop that off. Just slide that under there, pop that off, and then pop it off over here. Okay. Next, you'll see a little wire here that goes up to this light. There's 2 ways you can take the light off. First, there's a little clip over here. You can press this clip in and then it'll rotate out. Or what I like to do is if you grab it, you can just rotate it back like that. And then you can unattach this clip here, just like that. So just press down on that and slide this off. And if yours came with those ugly yellow ones and you're looking to upgrade, we have these available at Kies.com. So then you can remove this T30 right here. And this is what holds your bumper to your fender. Okay. And then in preparation to take the bumper off, I like to put some painter's tape on the car, even though the car has full PPF, just for extra protection. Then do the exact same thing on the other side of the car. All right, so now what you're going to do after you've protected the bumper, over here, if you take a look, this piece of the gray bumper sits on a little black clip. I just take this little clip and I lift it up and then I pull it over the bumper just like that in preparation for the bumper removal. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Then you can remove these 3 T30s. Next, what you want to do is with a second person, you're going to guide this off very carefully. Make sure you got that metal tab off of here and on the other side, or you will permanently damage your bumper. So now we're going to pop this off, pop the other side off, be very careful with the second person, and put it in a very safe area. All right, after pulling off the bumper, there is a ton of dirt, leaves, debris, all kinds of junk in here. So we have our Metrovac. If you guys don't have a good garage vacuum, this hands down one of the best that you can get. So we're just gonna suck out all these leaves and make sure that everything is super clean. All right, so that's how to remove a bumper. So now let's continue with the Rennline protectors for the radiator. So what we need to do is remove this plastic shrouding. Just pulls out like that. All right, so now what you can do is you can take your Rennline mesh here and you sit it in just like that. Now, to hold everything in place, they provide you with little screws. And I was looking at this, and if I put them where the screw head is on the inside, you might be able to see it because it has silver heads and it might just look a little funky. The other thing is if I put it the other way, I'm a little bit concerned having sharp objects between. You basically have the option of having sharp objects towards your radiator, which is a bad idea, or towards your bumper and all of this, and I don't really like that either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chalk marker and I'm going to mark between some of the grates just throughout this entire thing, and I'm going to choose to zip tie it. So I'm just gonna drill a bunch of holes and zip tie it because I feel much more comfortable with something that isn't sharp. So let's make it happen. All right, so here's a look at what everything looks like. Everything is nice and neat. So let's reinstall it, see how it looks. So as you can see, I think zip ties are totally the way. It's nice, it's tight, it's out of the way, and I'm not worrying about anything piercing the cooler or damaging the inside of the bumper. So once you've done this, do the exact same thing on the other side. All right, so as you can see, we've done the right and the left side of the car, and now it is time to do the center. To do the center, gently flex down on here, and you're going to see these little tabs. Basically what you want to do is carefully with a pick tool, pop up the center, and then we're going to rock it off. Before we do that, I am going to just disconnect the sensor. So just pull out on the red tab, push it in and pull it off, and that's just so we don't have any excess pressure on there. So then on the bottom, we're gonna pull down and pull out. Pull down, pull out, pull down, pull out, pull down, pull out. And then it's gonna sit just like that. Then for this next part, do it very carefully, but slowly rock it out. not to break any of these top tabs. Now, when it comes to the center grille on a 992 Turbo S, we have run into a little snag. That's because this car behind me is a brand new 2024. Unfortunately, these are only guaranteed to fit the 2023. So we called Rennline, and unfortunately it looks like this is a slightly different shape and size than this. So I spoke with our customer and he said, just alter it, do what you need to do. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I had to make a little bit of a modification to this, and I think it's gonna fit just great. Rennline's engineers are aware, and they are working on a little bit of an update to this just to make sure it fits perfect every single time. So because this most likely isn't the final version that you would put on a 2024 and up 992, I'm going to skip that, but it's basically going to be the exact same process as that. Again, I'm not a fan of the screws, so I'm going to use zip ties. So with that, let's get started. All right, so as you can see, the final result, even though we had to do a little bit of alteration, looks great. And before we put it on the car, we took it and we test fit where the bumper is going to slide onto it. So we made sure there was no fitment issue with that, and we are good to go. So with that, let's reinstall the bumper. All right, now that everything's back with the front bumper, it's time to move on to our TLG mud flaps. So these are super awesome and super easy to install. You take these two little flaps and you just slide them in like that, and that's going to help you hold everything and make sure that everything is positioned. Once you do that, just look down the side of the car. If you have any gaps where you can see through, just start to move it in. That looks pretty good. And then from there, once you have everything all lined up, take one of these small screws and just thread it into the fender liner like so. And then you can put your other screw in. Then for the rears, you'll notice that they have two larger holes up here and then a smaller one down there. That is going to go behind this OEM screw. So it gives you two different options, whether you want to have it a little bit more in or a little bit more out. Personally, I think it looks a little better with it a little bit more in. That's how I have the front set up. So let's remove this, install it over here, and then I'll put in one of my little black screws over here after I straighten it out. So as you just saw, removing the bumper on your 992 Turbo S is actually a pretty easy process. The one thing I don't think I covered in detail is with those little tubes underneath. All you do is just pop them back in and everything will be great as long as you started with everything like this. When it comes to the mud flaps, again, super easy to install. And as long as your car is compatible, the grill inserts are great as well. Once again, my name is Brian. Thanks for watching Kies. If you are looking to upgrade your Porsche, be sure to check us out at kies.com, Kies.com, for all of your Porsche performance parts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.